All right. First things first is the importance of journaling. I just wanna go over why it's important. Journaling, and I want to put this in practical terms, right? When you're in school and you had these tests, right? You had SATs, benchmarks, whatever state test you might have had, like tax test was for Texas, right? You have all these tests, but before the tests, you have a lot of practice tests. Even before a regular test in class, right? You have a practice test. They give you practice tests for you not to know the answers to the actual test itself. Like that's it's not going to be the same questions, but they're giving you a ballpark of what the environment is going to be like. That is what journaling should be for you, right? Whenever you have days, there's no reason why on the first FOMC of the year you don't know how the market tends to move. You should have data on that, and when you have a journal, you're able to go back on that data and see like, okay, it might not move like this, right? 'Cause each day is different, but I see the characteristics that it produces this day. Is it a good trading day? Does it range this day? You'll start to know answers to questions like that, which will instantly turn your profitability. And another way I like to put it, right? A dictionary. It don't matter how many words we learn and know. If you don't know something, you still need that dictionary. So it don't matter how many times or how long we've been trading. Sometimes there's things you're gonna forget, and a lot of times what happens is you forget about something that you learned that was important that you thought was an aha moment at the time. Then you learn a new aha moment. You forgot the old aha moment, not knowing that you need both of them to coexist for you to get better at trading. But anyways, let's get straight into it. So first thing we're gonna do when we're back testing, we're gonna try is go to a day, right? We're gonna choose September 3rd. And let's just see how it performed. First, let's actually look at the news behind that day to see if was there news that we should be aware of. So I'm gonna come here. Let's go to September the 4th because the third already passed on there. And let's see what news events. So we do have some news events. We have ADP non-farm roll, employment change, unemployment claims, Fed talk, ISM, PMI. Cool. So we got some news. We got red folder. We have 7:15, 7:30, 9 o'clock. So let's just see how the market performs this day. Um, so let's go to the strategy. And honestly, I'm gonna go here. There's 12. Keep going. Gotta go to my trading time. I can't just trade at any time. All right, cool. So do my strategy. I see something, kind of see structure on that end. I'm not gonna go over structure and how to find it or what these things mean, but if you're in the mob, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's just see how these levels end up playing out this day. Right, this is about right here. All right, cool. Let's see what happens. So it goes through. See how that would go to boom. Okay, cool. What time was this? 9:15. Interesting. 9:15 reversal. And remember, this is not about getting things right. This is about seeing the picture to understand what could possibly happen. So I'm gonna put 9:15 reversal there, right? You want to notice everything that happens. Um, cool. Times this 940. Cool. It's about 8.25. And actually, I want to see if this one would have hit break even. I think it would have. Think this would have hit break even. No, it didn't even hit break even. So yeah, taking that right out the way for the loss. 9:15. Cool. Um, boom. Just kind of let's play out, see what happens. And I can make this actually go a little faster. Cool. So it's like that was a TP hit. Gotcha. All right. What time did this TP hit? This was around 2 o'clock my time. So TP hit 2 o'clock. Let me see. Entry occurred. What time was this? Entry. I'm gonna say about 9:35 to 40 was their first original entry to 40. Cool. So what does this tell me? At 9:15 was it looks like the initiation of the move of the day. Um, it looks like the opening at 9 o'clock is meant for some type of manipulation, possibly. It looks like it respects our cycle levels. After you wait till 9:15, it respects our cycle levels. This one would just been a miss from this low, but you would have had the re-entry right here, and the 1 to 3 does get hit, so it can give me confidence that I can hold it. Also knowing that I possibly might not hit the trade or might not hit TP till 2 o'clock. So if I get in at 9:35, I could possibly be in that trade, a good majority of that day. But it also helped me realize not to panic that day whenever it's 12:30 and the market's doing something like this, right? And you're like, oh, should I sell? Should I take profits? Should I do partials? I don't lose all my forget all that. Let's get data to back why we do things and let's stop guessing. But cool. Now what we're gonna do is keep this in mind. Let me see, is there anything else I should jot down? I think that's about it. Now we're gonna go put this in our journal. All right, cool. So we have our dates of the news events that we have Thursday, September 4th. The reason why this is important is because there's several layers to backtesting. Some people just want to backtest news events. They want to see how to trade FOMC, for example, or how to trade unemployment claims. And this is a way to do it. And also, you're going to notice patterns. I'm not going to say it because I want you to actually build out your journal to see it. But you start to notice certain patterns with dates and when they happen. And it's almost like every year it's the same story being written. But we're not going to go too far into that. Right. So we got Thursday, September 4th, 2025. Cool. That looks like all the news. Now, the next thing we want to do is come to our charts to screenshot. All right, cool. We got our shot, or we got our screenshot of our chart. See what it looks like, and we can read that stuff. Now, I just do this because I like my chart to look a certain way. I do that so it doesn't make like my name pop up before I'm done writing, but I can edit this. That's just OCD in me. But so what did we notice? We noticed that 9:15 was reversal slash start of major move. Cool. 9:15, we noticed that. Um, Entry happened around, what's it, 9:35? 9:35 to 9, let's say 45. It was around that time when the entry happened. Cool. Let's see what else we got. What else happened? Oh, trade didn't end until 2 p.m. Now for this last one, and this is where if you're watching the video, you're copying exactly what I'm doing. I highly suggest it, so not mad at you. But this last one has to be specific to you. The reason why this last one is so important is because you've heard multiple traders, not just me, you probably your favorite trader you see online, talk about you have to have your own personal edge to the strategy. Like you can't just truly copy somebody and completely see how they see it every time because you are not them. You need your own personal edge. So what you need to do for this last bullet point is what is one thing you notice about these charts? Just one thing you notice, not beyond the time, beyond the entries, beyond whatever, whether that be you know the structure was on your side, structure was in your favor, or certain things you like to look at, what fair value gaps, like whatever it may be. Notice one personal thing about this trade for yourself that will help you have your own personal edge. For me, I notice two things, right? And I would say 1 to 3, but do as you please, right? So I noticed two things. Stop loss did not need to be extended. Now, why is this important for me to write? Because I know we've all been there. We've been in trades where if our stop loss was extended just by one more point or one more tick, it would have stayed in. We would have won the trade. And it's like we see that happen one time, then we build this bad habit of extending our stop losses. And what that does is make it, or it makes your TP further away, right? If you're aiming at 1 to 2s, 1 to 3s, 1 to 1s, it doesn't really matter what you're aiming at. If you have a bigger stop loss, you need a bigger take profit. So we want to keep that consistent. And when we notice these things, like the stop loss doesn't need to be extended, it helps me not fall for it whenever it does happen that 1 or 2 times and start extending my stop loss on every trade. It's like, no, you're not adjusting your entire trading system to one trade. You want to do what works most of the time. So I noticed the stop loss did not need to be extended. And I also noticed, and this is my personal thing, I like to put numbers to things as well. Stop loss didn't need to be more than 8 points. That's something that I noticed that I just feel like I wanna jot down. So cool. Edit that. Now this is what your journal should look like when you're completely done. You have your news events, or you have the date, right? You have the news events on that date, so you know what's going on. If you can refer back to news events and you want to learn how to trade certain news events, then you also have a picture of it because you need to actually see what happened. Trading is a visual game. If you can't see what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Like you'll never really understand it. That's why it takes years and years of just having your eyes on the charts for you to really be like, okay, I got this. But you need oh wait. But yeah, and lastly, you want to have just the information, right? Yes, you can look on the screen, that's cool, but it's also easier to do it this way. Oh wait. It's also easier to just look at it like this and you kind of see what the screen is doing. You probably still click on it anyways, but also you want to have those two things that you notice specifically about these charts. So once you have this whole thing ironed out, squared away, this is one trade in the journal. This is going to help you again have that dictionary, have that practice test. And it's also going to help you stop backtesting the same days. I don't know if you realize, but every time you probably backtest, you probably go to the same month around the same time because you naturally just stop at the same place and you backtest in the same trade like 10, 11 times. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and do yourself a favor, make this journal, do it every day once, and then just look at it. If you do 3 years worth of this, I promise you. Well, let me not promise you for y'all say I'm the one who told you something. But if you do this for 3 years, and it don't matter how long it takes you to do this. Some people it might take you 3 months to accomplish, doing 3 years worth of back testing. Some people you're gonna take 5 years to do it because you just got so many things to do that nobody else has to do, right? Anyways, have 3 years worth of this, and the chances of you being profitable are so much higher than where you're at right now if you're not profitable. Or even if you are profitable, the chances of you being even more profitable are so much higher. I'm telling you, this is something I recommend to the mob. This is something I did myself, and it truly works. But that's everything I got. Peace, love, y'all be smooth.